Welcome to another edition of the Running with the Mustangs, the show that is dedicated to the people, places, and things going on at Strongsville High School. It's our state championship edition of our show, so I'm joined by our track athlete, Jack. So thank you very much for joining me.
Of course.
So Jack, obviously, a big state meet coming up this weekend for you. How long have you been participating in track, and what inspires you to want to, kind of pick up the sport?
Yeah. I started track in 7th or 8th grade. A little bit of that got messed up by COVID. So probably about 5 years I've been doing track, and really inspired me to join track is just the overall competition. Like it's really kind of like a individual sport. Obviously the overall team aspect, but like the competition is just you versus everyone else in your races. So yeah.
Okay. So obviously you are well versed in a lot of different, events, not just one.
Yeah.
How does your training routine kind of hinder or help you for those other events that you're in?
For like practices, it kind of helps just to like have a routine every single day, because most of the athletes are running only Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm going Tuesday, Thursdays because those are usually the pole vault and the hurdle days. So yeah, like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are usually our like hard workouts,
Okay.
of our 400 distance and kind of sprint stuff, and then yeah, Tuesday, Thursdays are hurdles and pole vault.
Okay.
Other jump days.
Are there drills or things that you do specifically that you like that you think help you for those other events? So let's say, from a hurdle perspective, you've been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you think helps you in high jump or pole vault, or are there things that you do in those other events that help you with the hurdles?
Yeah, I think definitely the overall speed of hurdles and the technique, it kind of get your mentality like good, and to get a certain, form down. It kind of translates to other events like pole vault. That's really form.
Sure.
Like you need a lot of good form for that, and the hurdles is kind of the same way. But yeah, we just do a lot of reps in practice. Same with pole vault, same with everything else, just reps, constant
Yeah.
practice.
So, as someone that does a lot of different things, obviously your mindset has to be different from a pole vault perspective
Mm-hmm.
than our hurdles or from a high jump. Is there anything that you do from a mental health perspective that you have learned that has helped you to be successful at the highest level?
Not really, no. I mean, doing all those events, it doesn't really hurt me. It honestly helps me. In those meets, when I'm constantly running around, it keeps me warm. Keeps me kind of like head focused on one thing. I'm not resting, not really taking my mind off anything. So doing all of it kind of helps.
Sure. And then from your personal best this season, how do you plan to build on that as you now not only compete in the state meet, but you move into the outdoor season? How do you build on what you've currently done?
Just kind of keeping with what I'm doing. I mean, we're inside doing pole vault, and moving outside kind of helps. A little bit more space. The environment's a little better, but yeah, just kind of doing the same reps and listening to my coaches, keeping up with what they got me doing.
Okay. Have you ever faced a challenge in your track career, and how have you overcome that challenge that has shaped you to maybe, kind of get you to where you're at now?
There's a couple injuries, not any major injuries, but some shin splints. There's some minor thing in middle school, but those just kind of help me when I am injured to kind of recoup and heal myself, and then again just focus on training hard and getting back healthy. And
so obviously you've had a ton of success the last couple of years. How do you encourage younger athletes to stick with it to get to the level that you're at?
I just say listen to your coach. It's really the best thing to do. Sometimes you might not agree with what they're doing, but you really just got to listen to them and give it your all.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much for joining us. If you want to check out Jack, he is going to compete at Spire on Saturday. And then all of the updated results are going to be posted on our athletic website at www.strongsvilleathletics.org. As soon as we get back from this break, we will be talking to a first ever at Strongsville High School. Thanks. welcome back to this episode of our Running with the Mustangs. We're joined by a first ever here at Strongsville High School. Stella is our first ever female wrestler to qualify for the state wrestling competition. So first off, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
So how has this season gone for you personally, and then maybe from a team perspective?
For me personally, this is only my second year wrestling, so I'm still seeing a lot of growth, a lot of changes, and this is only the second year of the girls program, so it's the same thing for them. We're having new girls join, we're having girls come back, but overall it's just been a lot of improvement. There's been just a lot of learning, and overall this season was really good. We had placers at tournaments, we had some really good performances at duels, and it's been a really good season.
So how did you become kind of interested in the sport of wrestling? It's not something that, that I would eventually say that you thought about going through middle school, but how did you become interested in it?
I have always wanted to be a wrestler. My dad was a wrestler, and he's like someone I really look up to, so I've always kind of had that in like part of me.
Sure.
Because I've always wanted to be a wrestler, and as soon as I heard from a girl on the cross country team that there was going to be a girls program last year, and immediately I knew I wanted to do it. I knew that it was something that I could be good at because it's something that I wanted.
Sure. So you kind of talked about, the program's kind of growing. There's more girls coming out. There's girls coming back. What is it about the program that you would encourage girls to take part in it?
I would say that wrestling teaches you a lot about more than just wrestling. Like, the lessons that you learn at wrestling can apply to your entire life. Like, it is the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life. And I'm here at the top of it. Like, I've worked really hard, and that's what it takes to survive in that room. So if you think that you're capable of hard things, and if you think that you want to push yourself to do hard things, then wrestling is the only place you can really thrive, because it's the only place that demands more out of you than anything else.
Sure. That's a very powerful message that you have right there. So what did you learn this past year from wrestling? Was there anything that maybe you were a little bit weaker in last year that really honed in this year? Or, what was different about this season than it was last season?
Like, from a wrestling technique perspective?
Sure.
I would say it's like last year just kind of laid the foundation for me, but this year I really started to pick up on some things and hone some things down and actually start working some good techniques. Like, some of my favorite moves, I've just gotten my bread and butter.
Sure. So obviously there's a big meet this weekend, down in Columbus. Are there expectations you have for yourself, or maybe, to kind of put this program back on the map?
For myself, I expect that I'm going to do my best to win down there, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to make sure that my best is better than anyone else.
Sure. Awesome. Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. As someone that has now witnessed history here at Strongsville, you will become the first ever female wrestler to make a state meet. So, wish you best of luck, and you always have that to, kind of fall back on.
Yep.
If you want to follow Stella throughout the weekend, feel free to check out all of the results on our athletic website, www.strongsvilleathletics.org, or on our SCS Athletics Mustangs Twitter account. As soon as we come back, we are going to start our spring sports preview with our boys lacrosse team. Thanks. Alrighty, welcome back to this last segment of our Running with the Mustangs show. We are going to start to begin our spring sports previews here, and I am joined by Ricky and Sean, our boys lacrosse team. So thank you guys very much for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
So coming up, spring sports started for you guys probably now, probably going on 3 weeks now.
Yep.
Scrimmages coming up. So what are the expectations for this upcoming season for you guys?
Yeah, so we got a big scrimmage coming up tomorrow night, Friday, and we're really looking forward to officially starting our season. But a couple of goals we have, like just like starting off the season strong with our actual first game against Avon. We want to start off strong, a home game with a win, and just a positive record too. So just to show people that we're here to compete.
Sure. Sean, as a team kind of prepared this offseason, lots of, lifting, strength and conditioning, lots of wall ball stuff, things like that. Are there any challenges that you see that this team might face this year, whether it be, schedule-wise, whether it be with personnel? Are there specific challenges that you guys might face this year?
Yeah, I think we're a young team because we graduated almost, I think it was 7 seniors. So I think that we're just a young team, and we have to, build off each other this season, and we all have to come as one.
Okay. Are there any training regimens that maybe changed from last year to this year that you guys think are going to make it better for you?
Yeah, I think that we actually are partners now with Compound Fitness, and we do now lifting there on Saturdays, and then we do all of our recovery there and stuff too.
Nice. So Ricky, kind of a new season. As Sean mentioned, graduated 6 or 7 seniors from last year's team. Are there any incoming guys that you guys are really looking to lean on this year?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a couple guys that have been, playing at the varsity level for a little bit too. So, like our goalie, Jace, he's been, a huge part of our team the past couple of years. So we're really looking forward to seeing him play this year too as an older high schooler. Eric Dubsky is a young kid, shows a lot of potential. And just a lot of our middies too, they're quick, good stick work, and just they look very promising.
Just kind of just follow up on that. Is there one position on the field or team this year that you see as kind of your strength? Is it defense? Is it goalie? Is it long stick? Is there anything that you guys can, kind of hang your hat on this year?
Yeah. So I think, like I said earlier, our middies they're looking very good. They're young, they're quick. A lot of multi-sport athletes too, which is good to see. But they're just good guys to be around too. So we trust them, they trust us. So we'll put a lot of faith in our middies this year.
Okay. Sean, what are the team's primary goals?
So we have 3, and the first one is to beat Brunswick, and then we also want to win conference, and then we want to have a home playoff game. So.
Is there anything, as you said, those 3 goals, is there any challenges that you guys see with you accomplishing those 3 goals? Or, for the season?
Yeah, because I think if you want to have a home playoff game, you have to have 12 wins or something, and last year we only had 10.
Okay.
So we just have to chase that mark this year. So.
Sure. So, Ricky, what do you see as kind of the biggest challenges this year? I kind of touched on, maybe some of the personnel challenges, but is there any challenges you see schedule-wise or, just with other things going on that maybe are a huge challenge that you guys are looking to overcome this year?
Yeah, so like Sean said earlier, we have a young team, so I think that's probably our biggest challenge is that just making sure that they're, confident enough to play at this high level. So I think if we were to trust them and have them trust us, I think that would be, a lot better team-wise for us. So I think the biggest challenge would be just the young guys on our team.
Sure. And then, for both you guys, a little bit different schedule this year.
Yeah.
Are there other events or special things that you have going on this year that our community can maybe come out to support you guys at?
Yeah, so first one, like I said earlier, first home game is against Avon. It was a very good game last year. I think we went into overtime, maybe double overtime. I'm not positive, but it was a very good game last year. So, just home game against Avon would be great for you guys to come out and see.
Okay. Anything you want to add, Sean?
And then also, I think that the youth day is also a big one because
Definitely.
it's our whole youth teams are there, and I think that'll be a good one too.
Well, I look forward to catching you guys a lot this year. I'm really looking forward, to seeing the young team progress throughout the, the course of the season. So I thank you guys very much for taking time out to join me. As stated, the boys lacrosse season actually kicks off this weekend with some scrimmages. And then, as always, you can follow our boys lacrosse season throughout the year on our athletic website at www.strongsvilleathletics.org. And then you can also catch them if you can't make a game. Always our Huddle live stream. That is on our athletic website as well. So thank you very much for tuning in to this week's edition of Running with the Mustangs.